Savage, spectacular, sensational. Rally Kenya delivered all that it had promised in spades. Almost 20 years after it last graced the World Rally Championship, the Safari returned once more to finally give this current crop of drivers a taste of the big country. None of them had ever experienced anything like this before, so with pace notes starting from scratch and roads littered with hazards, there were more than a few heart-in-mouth moments throughout the weekend. This punishing event will no doubt be talked about for years to come, so let's look back at just some of Rally Kenya's most memorable moments. The ultra-fine sand coating the Kenyan roads, known by the locals as fesh fesh, created some incredible images all weekend long. But for the drivers, it wreaked havoc. Everyone struggled with grip, and it would regularly hamper visibility too, both outside and inside the car. Sometimes it was so deep that the cars were literally ploughing through the stuff, and it was Kalirov and Pera, who could well have won the rally, who had the toughest time. The Finn had been battling for the top spot on Friday afternoon, but on the very last stage of the day, he was swallowed up by the fesh fesh. After such a promising start, his rally was effectively over. As well as returning to this part of the world for the first time in almost 2 decades, Rally Kenya was notable for a few other firsts. Kenya was only the 4th time that Adrian Fourmeau has been in the seat of a WRC car, yet he showed experience beyond his years to put down another assured performance. He'd never won a stage before, until Kenya's stage 16. Everything came together on Malewa, and a first stage win was a well-deserved reward for this increasingly impressive young driver. It also marked the first stage win of the season for M Sport. Then there was Takamoto Katsuta. By Saturday morning, he was sat comfortably in 2nd place, and after stage 15, he was leading a rally for the first time in his career. Though a relentless Sébastien Ogier would eventually drop him to 2nd, he was not to be denied his first ever podium finish. An incredible result for the Toyota driver. Saturday afternoon, and some ominous-looking clouds had begun to gather. And on stage 13, they would add yet another challenge to this most demanding of rallies. The squalls were unpredictable. The first few drivers had nothing more than a few drops on the windscreen to deal with. First on the road, Danny Soro recording what would be a stage-winning time. But once the middle of the pack were underway, things turned biblical. The roads immediately went from slippery fesh fesh to a darker, even slicker surface that the locals call black cotton. Grip was long gone, as was Oyt Tanak's visibility. The Estonian dropped over a minute when he had to stop to clear his misted windscreen. It was full-on survival mode for the second half of the field, and some survived better than others. For 2 days, Thierry Neuville had driven imperiously over the bone-shaking roads. He'd negotiated several wildlife encounters, and even a dramatic tyre delamination couldn't knock him off his stride. But much like the previous 2 rallies, he came away from Kenya with a result that failed to match his performance. Out of nowhere, Neuville was suddenly hemorrhaging time on Sunday's opening stage, dropping almost a minute. Rear suspension failure was to blame. With no chance of repairing the damage, Neuville was out. Another devastating blow for the Belgian. Well, what can you say that hasn't been said? How about first Rally Kenya win of his career? The championship leader didn't have it all his own way though. Sébastien Ogier's Safari began badly. He opened the road and took it cautiously, but still managed to damage the rear damper early on Friday and had to limp through the rest of the morning. The fight back started in earnest on Saturday as, stage by stage, he clawed his way back to sit in 3rd by the end of the day. But as spectacular as his performance had become, surely a podium finish was the best that he could hope for. Well, in the blink of an eye, the rally was turned on its head. Tyre strategy hampered Katsuta and Neuville was out. Ogier made his own luck and roared through to take an 8-second lead going into the power stage. He was never going to give up that kind of advantage, and he duly closed out the 2021 Rally Kenya in style. An absolutely phenomenal weekend's rally.